Okay, here it goes. I have been flipping furniture since I was a teenager, but always did it for myself. This piece I'm going to be doing for my son. He's thoroughly destroyed the top. So I'm not going to film the whole thing. Just going to tell you first, we're going to take the hardwares off, wash it down, and then I'm going to get to sanding the veneer on the top and see what we have underneath. See you soon. Okay, I just wanted to do a quick check-in. These are wet marks. I was putting a little bit of a wet rag on it to see what the wood grain looked like after it was sanded down. So this is the top after it's sanded. I'm using a radial sander, but it's the, I can't think of the word, but it's the one that doesn't leave the little swirly marks. I'll tell you later. I'll put a link down. This is the drawers before. They have this very blonde, mid-century modern finish to them. You can barely see the wood. These are after I've sanded and I've damp wiped them. It really brings out the wood grain, but they will look like this when it dries. So just trying to figure out what kind of finish, if I want to put a finish on them, what I want to do with the drawers and the tops. So I'm going to keep sanding, get the rest of the drawers done, and then I'll probably call it quits for tonight. Okay, excuse the mess. I have a very small space in a one-car garage I'm working on. My son picked out a mahogany stain, so this is what it looks like so far. There are some spots you can kind of see here where it didn't take too well, and here. So I'm going to do a light sanding on the top and see if I can get a more even. But the drawers are pretty good so far. So I think I'm just probably going to polyurethane the drawers, since this piece is going to be an everyday piece of furniture. Right down here there's a spot where the veneer was coming up and I had to wood glue it. Sorry, it felt a little bit tacky there. There we go. I was trying to leave the stain on to soak in a little bit better. Wow, it shows up lighter on the camera. See if I can get it to focus. Focus. There you go. Shows up much lighter on the camera than it does in real life. So I'm probably going to sand that down a little bit more and see if I can get a little bit more even. The sides came out pretty well. Again, it's showing up much lighter in the camera than it is in real life. It has a very, very dark mahogany look to it. So I will let you know when I get the poly on and the final product. I will give you a peek. So this is how it's turned out so far. He picked this finish for his knobs, so they've been sprayed. I did sand with 220 grit to bring out the grain a little bit more on the drawers. I do love how the drawers have turned out. The top, however, is not accepting, well, the top and the sides are not accepting the stain very evenly, and I don't necessarily like how they look. So I'm gonna go from liquid stain to a gel stain, because it sits more on top of the wood, and see if that gives it a more even finish. Will likes it the way it is. My son, he likes it the way it is, but I'm not content with it. So I'm gonna try the gel stain and see if that helps out at all. If it were me, I would then just paint it black and leave the wood grain on the drawers, but we'll see what he wants to do since this is his piece. So I'm gonna go get ready to stir up the gel stain, apply that, wipe it off, and see what we get after that. I will update you in a little bit. Okay, so this is the dresser after the gel stain. I picked a mahogany. Again, he wanted it dark. And then I figured out that the top of the drawers here still had the old stain on it, the white finish, you know, the more blonde. So I sanded that down, and then I went over the drawers with the gel stain also. And now I'm getting ready to put a satin polyurethane on there. So right now that's the first coat of satin on that one. I'm going to start working on this one next. I will sand, do a light sand in between coats, and I will put 2 coats on the drawers and possibly 3 on the dresser. So I will update you after the first coat and let you see how it looks. Okay, so here it is. 2 coats of polyurethane. I did have to switch polyurethanes because I used a gel-based stain. You do need to, just to be safe, use then a gel poly, because you can have interactions between the two. There are ways to do it where you can use a water-based poly on top of a gel. I just did not want to risk it. Wish I could get better pictures when it's downstairs. I will try and get a little bit better pictures of it. But I am really pleased with how it turned out. He picked this like hammered finish for the handles. They were kind of like this brassy tone. I might have done them in a brass to contrast them a little bit more, but he really wanted a certain look for this piece. This is for my son, so that's what we did. Hope you guys liked it. If you want more of these, let me know.